Hello guys, hello. Welcome to Planet Alien here on YouTube. We're a little alien. Welcome to the family. I was gonna say if you want to be part of the family, but you know, what else. So if you don't, it's okay if you do. But anyways, moving on. So I wanted to talk about Cloak and Dagger. Now, I'm going to be totally honest. When this was first, said to be happening, I was like, ooh, I'm excited, you know, ooh, I'm kind of interested to see. I love Olivia Holt, so I was already kind of like, oh, she's definitely the one pulling me in. Then I saw, of course, some of the trailers or promos, and I was like, ooh, this is good, you know. But at the time, I had become so immersed in Riverdale that I really didn't, you know, give much thought to watching it or keeping up with when it was going to come on, which is my bad, because when I watched the first two episodes, just even the first episode, I was so surprised at how amazing it is. And I'm not saying like, oh, I thought it was going to be horrible or stupid, but I'm surprised at how amazing it really is. Like, it honestly got me hooked right after the first episode. Like, the first episode wasn't even over yet, and I was hooked. Like, my brother came in, and I was like, hey, I'm watching my show. You gotta give me at least like 15 more minutes of this show, and then it will be over and you can talk to me. Because I was like so immersed in it. Like, I am so glad I decided to finally watch it, because it's such a good show. It really is, actually. I mean, a lot of shows, you know, the first episode either makes or breaks it, and a lot of times, or the first episode is kind of introducing the characters, and so you're not as intrigued as when, like, the second episode or third episode comes, where there's more dramatic things happening and it gets more complicated, whatever the show may be. But with this first episode, how it introduced Tandy Bowen and Tyron Johnson was perfect. It introduced them so perfectly. Like, that scene when his brother got shot broke my fucking heart. Like, ugh, God. Again, with the corrupt cops. Like, of course, it's always the corrupt cops. Like, I understand he was startled and he shot. But you're a cop. Don't you think you should be a little more aware? Like, you should be a little more cautious? I mean, if you shot at something every time something startled you, wouldn't you have killed like 1,000 people by now? Because I'm sure you get startled a lot, and I'm sure not every time your gun goes off, not once, but twice. Like, that's what gets me. It didn't go off once. It went off twice. Like, you got startled that much, you had to shoot him twice. Like, by the first shot, you should have already seen that the thing exploded. So why shoot him a second time? Because it wasn't like it was pop, pop. It was like pop, and then pop. You know, it took a second. Like, did you really need to shoot him twice? And, of course, this guy is a corrupt fucking cop. And, of course, his uncle will fix this, which I'm guessing is his uncle is the police of chief of police, because the chief of police is the one who told Tyron and his mom and dad when his brother was killed, you know, that there is no such cop with a scar on his face in this department. No one's ever heard of him. Your brother wasn't shot. It's too hard to tell what happened, you know. And it's like, are you fucking serious right now? You're legit actually saying this? Like, are you for real? Like, I wanted to scream. Like, if I was Tyron in this situation, I know he's, like, I can understand he was at a young age, but, like, God, if I was in that situation, I would be infuriated, because I so clearly saw my brother get shot by the guy with the scar on his face, who then was like, oh shit, I just shot a kid, you know? His look on his face was like, oh shit, what did I just do? He knew he was in the wrong, and you know what's even worse? Is that it's not even that I don't know if the uncle is the chief of police. I'm guessing it is, unless the uncle's even higher up, which then the uncle could convince the chief of police to then say, you know, my nephew did not shoot this kid, make it look like something else, whatever. But if that's the case, not only is this guy who shot an innocent kid twice a corrupt cop, but the chief of police is a corrupt cop, and the partner of the guy who shot the kid, you know, Connor's the cop, the partner of him is a corrupt cop. Because if you, I'm sorry, I'm not here for the whole, oh, we're brothers in blue, we stick together. No, 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 no. Like, if you are going to corroborate his story, the partner, you're just as bad as him. I don't care if you're a good cop or not, you're just as bad as him. Like, that's what's so fucking messed up. It's like, you have the uncle, whether that be the chief of police, like I said, you have the chief of police, you have Connors, the corrupt cop, and you have Connors' partner who was there when he shot the kid. 4 people right there who lied about how Billy Johnson died, Tyrone's brother. I mean, and not to mention, this little boy witnessed it. Like, oh God, when I was hearing that scene, I wanted to scream. I wanted to be like, are you fucking serious? You think I'm that dumb? Let me see the fucking body. Like, where's the body? You know, you're so sure it wasn't a shooting? Really? Because 2 bullet holes, what the fuck am I, accent? 2 bullet holes are not just going to magically disappear, you know, like, and it's not like he was in the water that long where his body decomposed to the point where you can't tell. You still would be able to tell that he was shot twice. Like, it drives me nuts. Like, I just want to freaking, I can't stand corrupt cops. Like, that really got me. Like, that got me. Like, I didn't know he was corrupt at first until, like, you see that he is corrupt, and basically evidence that he's supposed to be putting in evidence is instead being sold to these drug dealers, whatever he's selling at that time. At that time, he was selling coke, I believe, or heroin, which is what Tyrone threw at him and hit him with the crowbar and then ran, which was fucking awesome. Like, oh my God. And when the guy choked, had him choked up against the fence, and it went, and Tyrone had the flashback, and he actually got to hear what the cop Connor said and his partner said after he shot his brother, you know, and he was like, what did you do? And he's like, I don't know, I didn't mean to. And he's like, I gotta call my uncle. And the partner was like, why? What's he gonna do? And Connor's, the corrupt cop, is like, he'll fix this. And I was like, yes! Like, because, you know, Tyrone at this point was already in the water trying to get his brother, so he didn't hear any of this. So getting to hear this was just an amen, because he needed to hear this. He needed to see, because he already knew that they were lying, but he needed to really, I think that was such a vital scene. And also it kind of like, I think gave the guy, I don't know if the guy saw it, because when Tandy was having that moment with her mom and her dad was there, and, you know, they were talking about how she used to love dance so much, her mom didn't remember any of it. Like, she didn't see any of what Tandy saw. But when Tyrone had that moment with Connors the cop, it seemed like Connors also saw what Tyrone saw, or somewhat of that degree. Like, I feel like he knew, like, Tyrone had just seen what he said. I don't know, maybe he didn't, but in that moment it seemed like he kind of did. And, I mean, of course, he tried to shoot Tyrone. It was interesting that when Tyrone went to shoot Connors, which, bitch, I don't care. Like, well, he can't, because, you know, don't ruin yourself for this piece of shit. But really, he is the poison that has infected not only Tyrone, but his mother, and I'm sure his father as well. I mean, we saw his mother's worst fear, both her sons dying and her not being able to do anything. Like, that scene was perfectly executed, like, heartbreaking. But I loved it, because Tyrone really got to see his mom's deepest fear, and really the fear that has been inside her since her son and his brother died, you know, and how she's so scared that she's going to lose Tyrone too. And it really is heartbreaking. Like, I really love that moment. But I definitely want to see more scenes of him and the mom. I do love the mom, and I think her and Tyrone's scenes are really good. And I'm also really glad that Tyrone was like, you guys are putting a lot of pressure on me, a lot of weight. Like, I can't carry everyone's weight. Because I really like, I like that instead of the characters just, you know, letting the parents, like, have all this weight on their shoulders and control them. I like them to instead stand up and say, listen, like, this is my life. Like, you can't keep trying to control me. So you can't stop something from happening. If it happens, it happens. You just have to, like, accept that. This is my life, you know? But holy shit. Sorry. But I understand where she's coming from. But yeah, when Tandy and Tyrone meet, which honestly, you know, I wasn't really thinking, like, she knocked into him with her drink, but I wasn't really thinking that she was, like, stealing his wallet, I guess. I mean, I should have assumed it is Tandy, but I wasn't really thinking, oh, she's stealing his wallet. You know, I thought this is just how they meet, which, let's just admit it, I don't care about her and Liam. I don't care about him and Avita, wherever her name is, you know, the girl who likes him. I don't care. When they met, and when she was rubbing that stuff, and she was like, you should wear the jacket more often. It hangs nicely off your shoulders. And he was, oh, I'm sorry. And he was like, thank you and stuff. And I mean, the way that they looked at each other, like you could already see that spark ignited. Not to mention they already have this huge connection. So that's already going to play a huge part in this. Like, I'm not saying just because they're connected, they have to be together. But those sparks ignited in that moment. You could see, like, the way he looked at her and the way she looked at him. Like, I mean, she didn't have to look at him that way. It's not like she was trying to coerce him into going with her somewhere to rob him, you know. She had already gotten his wallet. So it's like, in that moment, it's like, I don't know, they just seemed to have, connected without really realizing why they were connecting. Like, they just seemed to just have that look at each other like, you know, who are you? I'm intrigued. You know, I don't know. You could just tell that there was a spark that ignited. And then, when of course she stole his wallet and he went running after her, that is when he grabbed her and their powers went off, and, you know, you got to see the powers, and she was like, you're the kid from the beach. And he's like, from the beach? And I was just like, oh my God, this is so good. Like, it's getting so good. Like, oh my God. Like, this is getting so good. Like, I already love Tyrone and Tandy. Also, you know, Tandy, yes, did kill a guy, but he deserved it. Like, okay, like, you can see that Tandy, watching those three girls, you know, drinking their coffee, on their phones, hanging out, you could tell that that's the life she wanted, that she never got to have after her dad died, which is another thing. What is the odds of her dad being blamed for the explosion at Roxconn or whatever, you know, the company? Oh, God, I'm making a video. How is she to blame? Like, I mean, how is the father to blame for the explosion, right? Because they put, of course, it's easy to put the blame on someone who's now dead, you know, even though he was on the phone before that saying, like, hello, you need to do something, it's going to go bad. Like, he was the one trying to tell them, you know, but whatever. So it's easy to put the blame on him now that he's dead, so they put it all on him. But I thought it was interesting that Tyrone woke up on top of the company. Like, did anybody notice that with the sign in the background of the company? But yet, you know, when he went out the door and stuff, then he saw Connors, and I think that's why he appeared up there, because, you know, Connors was down there. But isn't that weird that Connors is at this company doing shady shit, and this company also happened to put all the blame on Tandy's father, who was dead and who can't say that he's not guilty, that this isn't his fault? It's so much easier just to put the blame on him because he's dead. And I think there's a lot of shady shit going within that company, because I know it wasn't the father's fault. I know they put the blame on him because he's dead, and it's easier to put the blame on him, and everyone, in the end, everything works out, you know? But no, it doesn't work out, because you destroyed lives. You destroyed Tandy's life. Bad enough her mom was already taking fucking pills all the time, and then bad enough her mom stole the money she needed to get a new identity because she had just killed a guy for trying to rape her. And yes, she did rob him, but even before then, before robbing him, he was a little too handsy, you know, and I know, like, she got herself into that situation, and I totally saw them coming. Like, I knew they were going to be outside waiting for her. I just knew it, you know? So, but, like, I understand, like, yeah, she robbed him and stuff, but it's like, she robbed him and stuff. Like, I don't know how to say this, because I don't justify, I don't justify, like, how do I say this? I justify her killing him. Like, I don't really care that or not killing him, he's in the ICU. Whatever. But anyways, no, I understand, like, she did rob him and stuff, and I'd be pissed too, but, like, to take it to that level, you know, and to, like, try and actually rape her, and it's not like she purposely tried to stab him, it just kind of happened, it came out of her hand, and I mean, you got what you deserved, bro. Like, I mean, even your friends who are like, no, come on, let's just go, you know, and he's like, just go, leave, and it's like, oh my God, what the fuck, man, you two have no balls, you can't, like, say, dude, like, come on, let's just go, like, there's no point, like, really, what was raping her going to accomplish anything? So, you know what, you got stabbed, you're in the ICU, you got what you fucking deserved, and it's not even like, oh my God, if he wakes up, you know, he could tell who is the one who stabbed him. But it's like, no, because the two friends saw her too, and they could easily identify her and say who she was and stuff and what had happened and what led to it, which I don't know if they did. I mean, it showed them in the room with the detective, but it didn't go any more into that. So yeah, with that whole situation of that guy getting stabbed, did not feel bad whatsoever. Like, no, 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 no. Like, yes, I mean, this is what Tandy has to do to survive, okay? She has to do this to survive, you know? And it's not like she's spending the money on drugs and all this stuff, but she needs it to survive, like, okay? Like, and I'm not saying that gives her the right to rob people, but I'm just saying, does that give him the right to try and fucking rape her in return? And it's not like she planned on killing him. It happened, or killing him. I keep thinking he's dead, but he's in ICU. It's not like she planned on stabbing him. It just came out in the moment of fear, you know? Like, I mean, he was attacking her, you know? That's a scary thing, especially for her. Like, that's scary. So, I mean, even though I don't like her and Liam, like, I don't ship them, I still really like Liam because he is there for her, and when he found out that she murdered someone, he was right there to help her in any way he can, and I don't know, I just feel like he definitely would be one not to crack under pressure. Like, he wouldn't give her up. I just feel like he wouldn't give her up. Regardless of how they ended things, he wouldn't give her up. I think he is really a good guy. So I do like Liam. However, Tandy and Tyrone is who I ship. Like, they just have that connection. Like, I just know it's going to keep on flourishing. And, yeah, maybe by the season finale or before that, we get, like, a kiss or something. Like, I would love to just get a kiss, like, by the season finale. Or maybe season 1 will be more developing them and their story and how they're connected and their powers. Not so much getting into relationships, you know. So, you know, we'll see. Maybe they'll fit it in there, but that would be awesome if they, like, kiss at season finale or at the end or something happens, you know, like, I don't know. I just know that they are going to end up together eventually, you know, like, they're connected in more ways than one, you know, and it's so, I find it, like, well, I guess it makes sense why they're connected, because they were both in the water at the time the thing exploded, you know, and that was another sad part, like, oh, God, her dad, when she was like, Daddy, you know, and it's like, oh my God, it breaks my heart, like, God, like, this show was so good, like, it really was really amazing. Like, I have to say, the first episode was, like, so much better than I expected. Like, I did not think I would love this show as much as I do, and I did not think they would do it in such a perfect fucking way that they did. Like, I just never would have thought they would have, like, lived up to such, it's not like, I'm not saying there was high expectations, like, I'm sure there was, but they went past that. Like, they went past my wildest dreams. Like, God, it was so interesting, and I'm just, like, on the edge of my seat, and then when those fucking, I saw this coming also, but I was thinking, like, maybe he could use his powers. I was hoping he'd, like, use his powers, but I guess you really can't. But, like, I was hoping he'd use his powers when those 3 guys on the team beat him up, because, you know, because of him, they had to do suicide sprints, and they lost the game, and all this stuff, you know, or that he punched the guy and stuff like that. And so they were beating him up, and I was like, damn, use your fucking powers. And he tried to go into the thing, but that didn't work out. But I was thinking, like, maybe he would just get angry and, like, they would just go flying and stuff. That'd be fucking awesome. But you can't exactly have that happen just yet, because then people are going to be like, he's a mutant or something, and yeah, so that can happen yet. But I was like, man, use your fucking powers. But their powers just kind of come out when they come out. It's the emotions, I think, that bring them out, and also their connection. Like, I love that she kept his hoodie, and she puts it on as if to keep safe. Like, I love that. She puts it on, and it's like she feels safe, and that says so much. And I also really love that they had the scene. We've, of course, seen that Tandy now takes pills as well, just like her mother, you know, she's been taking pills. But I love the scene where she's sitting there, and she puts on the hoodie, and she looks at the pills, or no, she's sitting there, and she looks at the pills as if, like, should I take them? And then she looks away, and she puts the hoodie on, puts the hood up, and then just, you know, goes to sleep and stuff. And I'm like, that was such an important moment, because it showed the struggle of, like, addiction. Like, we don't know if she's really addicted. I mean, we can assume, but it showed that struggle of, you know, she looked at the pills as if, like, I'm going to take them like I usually do, but instead, she put on the hoodie, Tyrone's hoodie, and she just kind of closed her eyes and just felt like, I feel like, safe. And him keeping the ballerina shoe, even though, like, it's like, in that moment, waking up on the beach and you see a ballerina shoe, you're thinking, like, I mean, I'm sure not everyone thinks to grab and to take it, but something I think told him to, or maybe he just was intrigued or just wanted to keep it because, like, what the fuck just happened here? Like, there's car parts on the beach, you know? But it was so awesome to see that when she was, like, putting on his hoodie, he was also touching her ballerina shoe, and he still keeps it and looks at it. And it's just, I love that. It's so beautiful. Like, I love that she has his hoodie, you know, and that she still has it. And I don't know, I just feel like it's her safety blanket in a way, that hoodie, you know? And I don't know, I just really love this. I have to say, you know, the cast really killed it. I mean, they're doing a fucking excellent job. Only 2 episodes in, and already it is fucking bomb. I highly recommend you watch this show. I really, really, really do. If you love Marvel, then that's one reason you should definitely watch it. But another reason is it is so good. Like, honestly, I was surprised at how good it was. I never would have thought it would have been, like, I never would have thought I would love it that much or even think it was that amazing. But within, like, 10 minutes in, I'm already like, oh my fucking god. Like, what the hell? Like, no, no, no. Like, yeah. So, if you like shows like Marvel shows, or you like, yeah, Marvel shows, comic book shows, you like powers and connections and, you know, complications and drama and family issues and shady businesses and corrupt cops, and because there's a connection between, you know, Connor's the corrupt cop and the what's it called? The company that Tandy's father worked for, who put the blame all on him. You know, like, there's a connection between them all, along with Tandy and Tyrone. Yeah, Tandy and Tyrone. I said it, and I was like, wait, did I just say something wrong? Tandy and Tyrone. Also, I think they're not connected only like, they are connected because the thing went off with them in the water, so that was their connection. But I also think that they are connected because of what happened with his brother and what happened with her dad also is what connects them too. And I think that's going to collide as they get closer and as they develop more of a friendship and get more into their powers and kind of trying how to control them and how they come about. I think, because I really see not only the connection being, like I said, in the water and that thing happening, and of course that's the main connection because they were both affected, but I also think his brother dying by that cop and her dad dying and being basically blamed for this explosion is connected to Tyrone and Tandy. And I think just every storyline is going to kind of come full circle and connect to one another. I don't know. I just feel like their connections goes way beyond the whole thing that happened in the water. I also think, like I said, their storylines. I feel like what happened in their past with the brother and with the dad and with the company and with the cop is also connected. So that, along with them having these powers and this connection, just even plays a bigger part. And I can't wait to see where this goes. Like, I'm so excited for the new episode on Thursday, because it is on Thursday on Freeform. You definitely need to watch it. Like, it is so fucking good. It's on 8 o'clock. Like, oh god, it was just amazing. Like, I have to say, like, I really liked it. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video of me talking about the show, and I'm gonna go.